In this lesson, we're going to get started setting up our CAM program. And to do that, we're going to start by downloading a file from the Mastercam Tech Exchange. This file has been provided with the course documents, but if you want to find it yourself, you can log into mastercam.com, go to the Tech Exchange, and find the generic Haas VFTR Series 5-axis mill. We've downloaded this file and provided the zip file directly in the course dataset file for you. In order to use this information, we'll need to unzip it into the right location. Depending on which zip utility you use, you might be able to use a folder option that will automatically place contents in the correct subfolders. If we take a look at its contents, you can see that we have a CNC Machines folder. This one contains our machine and control definition files. And we have a mill posts folder that contains our PSB and our PST file. We'll need to make sure that these get to the right location. In your system, you'll want to navigate to the hard drive that contains your programs, your users folder, your public folder, public documents, and your shared MCAM 2019. Inside of here, we have our CNC Machines folder, and this is where we can place all the contents of the CNC machines. So if you're going to be doing this manually, you'll simply want to copy and paste these over into this location. For the post and PSB files, we'll want to go down to Mill, Posts, and we'll place these in here. You can see that we have our generic Haas VFTR Series 5X, PST, and PSB files. Once we have these in the right locations, they'll be available for use inside of Mastercam. In Mastercam 2019, we'll start with an empty blank document, go to the Machine tab, and go to our Mill dropdown and Manage List. I'm going to scroll down until I see Generic Haas VFTR Series 5X Mill, and I'm going to select Add. Now this is a 3D mill course, but we will be doing some multi-axis passes just to show the difference between some of the available options you may have. All the geometry we're going to be looking at is machinable from 3-axis toolpaths. So now if we use the mill dropdown, you'll notice that we have a default option now for Haas VFTR Series 5-axis trunnion mill. If we expand this, we have Files, Tool Settings, and Stock Setup. Just like when we were using the default, there's going to be no change here. Now that we know we have our machine mill default set up, let's get started with the geometry we're going to be using for our course. With this lesson, we've also supplied a file called MCU gas pedal. Let's go ahead and open that. And now we have the data set that we're going to be using for this portion of the course. If we go to the Solids Manager, you'll notice that we actually have two solid bodies. If we select one of them, you'll notice that the pedal itself and the arm of the pedal are two different bodies. So what we're going to be doing is making sure that the setup of our Mastercam file is going to be perfect for machining this part. To get started with that, let's go to the Machine tab, the Mill dropdown, and we'll set up the VFTR 5-axis mill as our default mill. I'm going to hit Escape twice to deselect the arm, and under View, I'm going to select Isometric. Now notice the orientation of the part is not ideal for what we're doing. So in following lessons, we're going to be going through the process of setting up our planes, setting up our stock, and all the information we need. We want to make sure that we save the file. In this case, we're going to be calling it MCU 3D _ saved. We can move on to the next lesson.